Greetings, vinyl community. I've got some more records to show today, starting with one that I meant to include in my previous video, but I forgot to include it in the stack, and that is Too Many People by San Gaspar, a band from Sacramento, a band I've seen in concert a couple of times in San Francisco. And the live performances were very drone-based. They were a large band. There are 7 people as it's configured, at least on the album. And they appear in different configurations. But the live performances were very droney, establishing a tonal center and just hanging onto it and creating a trance state in the music. Now, the music on the LP is a bit more conventional. It opens with strummy guitar, so there's a kind of folk element. There are tunes. It's not at all the kind of minimalist droning sound of the live performances. There is a kind of krautrock element to it. There are a couple of tracks where I'm actually reminded of Popol Vuh. Other tracks are a bit more rowdy, you might say. It's a 7-piece band, as I said, with guitar, bass, keyboards, and drums, plus 3 winds. There's saxophone, clarinet, and flute. The flute and clarinet get kind of buried, I think, in the mix, as does the saxophone through much of it. The saxophone kind of comes to the lead on first couple of tracks on side 2. So, San Gaspar, new album, Too Many People. And it has a little insert with the credits. Now, in my last video, I also spoke about records that I'd picked up in Berkeley. And at one store in Berkeley, I'd seen this record on the wall and kind of forgot about it. And as I was leaving, I saw it again. I went, oh, I should have picked that up. It was a wall record, but it wasn't terribly expensive. And I'd meant to look at it, but I'd already spent so much money, I didn't sort of turn around and buy it after I'd already checked out. Well, a day or two later, wouldn't you know, I saw Derek Higgins on his channel show this very record. And that just settled it. I had to go back to Berkeley and pick up the only album by the British avant rock band Metabolist. And you'll see I've got a single up here that's got virtually the exact same artwork. I've had this since the 80s, probably since 1980 when it came out. This album is also from 1980. But I never had the LP. So now I do. And it's great stuff. It's very strident, kind of an oppressive, noisy sound, but with a sense of humor. I would describe it as being like kind of a punk rock magma. Only at the end are there are vocals, but it sounds like it's the album is Hanston Clork. The single is Tis Haz Nam. As well as Identify. So they use a lot of strange words like magma does. The last track on the album, though, is in intelligible English, so there's that relief. Very cool album. Glad I did go back and pick that up. And while I was there, I also grabbed this copy of The House on the Hill by Audience, with a little hype sticker directly on the vinyl, directly on the cover, because this is a promo copy. It's a white label radio station edition. So, radio station copy, as it says, on a white version of the Electra Butterfly label that I think began in 1970. There's the inner sleeve, using the full-color butterfly. House on the Hill. This was, I think it may have been Audience's first release in America, It was their third or fourth album overall from 1971. And this American edition is quite different from the British version. There are two songs on here that are not on the British version. One song from the British version is not on here, and the track ordering is also shuffled around a bit. There are three songs on here, as it says, contains the hit Indian Summer. Now, Indian Summer did make the Billboard charts, I'm informed, as a whopping number 74. I don't remember that one being the radio play at all. Radio play item, I meant to say, at all. There were three tracks on here that were Nancy, the title track, The House on the Hill, and Jackdaw, which is in the middle of side one, but it was the opening track on the British edition of the album. Very unusual sound for this band, very unique instrumental configuration. Lead singer Howard Worth is also the guitarist, and he plays an electrified classical guitar. So he's using a kind of flamenco technique, does the back of the fingernails stuff and all that. There's saxophone and flute, plus bass and drums. And that's it. The saxophone and flute gives it a little bit of a Van der Graaf generator feel. This is, it's not really prog with a capital P, but it's definitely in the progressive rock adjacent style. As I say, there's that Van der Graaf feel. Howard Worth has a very edgy, kind of nasty, nasally tone to his voice. Amazing singer, a little bit like Ozzy. I think much better than Ozzy. Sad the Fan might find something to like here with the vocal and the very heaviness of the title track, House on the Hill. That's a very riffy, heavy piece, complete with satanic and haunted house kind of elements to it. And it goes in the middle into a spooky, echoey breakdown. Very cool stuff. Nancy is an amazing track. Very tongue-twisting, a lot of rhymes, very fast delivery. I couldn't sing it. I don't know how Howard Worth gets through it. So, nice gatefold with the lyrics, and suitably haunty house. And it also comes with the insert, which when I owned this album back in the day I didn't have, showing the band members. So that is House on the Hill. Two reissues by the British musician Snakefinger, who came to California and hooked up with the Residents. So his solo albums, number one being Chewing Hides the Sound, and number two being Greener Pastures, from 1979 and 1980 respectively. Both of them feature the Residents as his accompanists, and he does music very much in the kind of residential neighborhood, you might say. It's pop music, it's got progressive elements, it's got some great guitar and violin playing. It's really unique. This is a reissue on Secret Records. This is the Chewing Hides the Sound on green vinyl. And Greener Pastures is not greener, it is actually green and purple. And the Greener Pastures is a numbered edition. I have number 142 out of 250. There's no numbering on the other. And finally, a new reissue of the 2018 album by Ghost, Prequel. This is on the clear smoke vinyl and comes with a bonus 45 on black vinyl containing covers of songs by Pet Shop Boys and Leonard Cohen. It's a Sin by the Pet Shop Boys and Avalanche by Leonard Cohen from his amazing, actually, I think it goes this way, from Cohen's amazing Songs of Love and Hate album. And we get a fancy inner sleeve. We get a poster. And there's even music, and it's very much in the very poppy but hard rock vein of Ghost. I would link them to Blue Oyster Cult. A lot of people have made that comparison. Alice Cooper comes to mind. Like Alice Cooper, they have an amazing macabre but tongue-in-cheek image, and just some really good hard rock songs with a lot of catchy hooks. And the popular numbers on this album, Prequel, are Rats and Danse Macabre. I just used that word macabre, and they must agree with me. So that's what I have to show today. Thanks very much for watching. As always, I'd like to direct you to my Bandcamp page. Bandcamp Friday was a complete washout, 0 sales, so I do still have some records available. Thanks very much for watching. Be well, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.